What's up, guys? We are back with another XRP update. Please watch all of this one, and I hope you enjoy the end. Let's get into it. So I wanted to start off with the big news that everybody will be talking about for XRP. We have RippleNet partner FlashFX on Twitter has just confirmed that, yes, we are working on new corridors specifically for on-demand liquidity, which leverages XRP, the digital asset. Zero doubt. I hate waiting as much as the next guy, but it's good to see that they're continuously building. We can go back to 2016. We do, in fact, remember FlashFX using Ripple and XRP, talking about the differences. There's plenty of articles and websites discussing this. We can see right here the CEO of FlashFX talking about building for the future, and specifically even in Australia, we can say they process $50 billion a year in cross-border payments. Wow. So ample, tons of opportunity, guys, and all good and great. And I'm excited to see which corridors may be going live in the future. Of course, I have a few ideas. You can go to utility-scan.com. You can keep up to date with this utility tracker, and we will see who's going to be growing in the future. Of course, I expect Southeast Asia to expand. I hope the Brazilian real really gets going. And we will stay tuned. And funny enough, I love seeing the Gala Games ad. Of course, that is part of my hold in the future in the NFT game, just to have some exposure. So I'm wishing them very well, of course, with even their recent Flare integration. So let's see if I missed anything here. FlashFX talking about that. Even see Swell 2019 when they're announcing FlashFX right here. Interbank Peru, Bitso, of course, don't forget them. So all good and great. Now let's keep moving. I'm going to link this in the top of the video description for any newcomers, because I know in the past 6 months there's been a lot of new XRP investors. Hopefully they're not running out of patience and understand what is at play here, but at the end of the day, it is up to them with which projects they decide to hold on to. So this is the XRP ecosystem. This is created by Leo, so I'm going to link Leo's Twitter, if you guys can follow him, as well as his website up top. You can learn about the XRP ecosystem. Some of this does need to be updated, to be honest, and he's well aware of it, so if you guys want to give him any recommendations, but you can even go here to markets, see it all, all the information here, go to Ripple, see the top 100 banks, and learn more about this. Essentially, I just want to give you guys some resources so you can do your own research as you continue, keeping up with the space. All right. Next up, we have Roth Economist. So this is huge. FX Clearing Trust, a subsidiary of SBI, which in fact is a Ripple investor as well as an R3 investor, has obtained a license as a trust business. Now this is where it gets interesting. The company plans to expand into the foreign exchange market, or Forex, of course, all these, multiple currencies, 24/7. 5 trillion plus a day. And where is the capital of essentially Forex per se? Well, one of the financial capitals of the world, London, where R3 and of course Ripple have offices, no surprise. And also operations for crypto assets. So they're basically in these articles. There's a few articles he links below. We have one right here. So this is on CoinPost. It's planned to expand into business not only for FX, but also for crypto assets, virtual currency. Oh, remember back in 2015 when the Department of Justice, FinCEN, declared XRP to be a virtual currency and didn't call it a security? Huh, interesting. All right. And then also on the Nikkei, we can see they announced the same thing. So just talking about virtual currencies, crypto assets, all good and great. Okay. And let me see if there's anything else. He always has everything linked, very conservative, very smart. And essentially he's even speculating, does this pretend, or does this, you could say like hint, or is this an omen that there's going to be XRP trusts in the future? Grayscale, perhaps? We do know Digital Currency Group was an investor in Ripple back in the day. And of course, do not forget about Glenn Hutchins. Glenn Hutchins and a few other superstars behind the scenes. And I know a lot of people dismiss that stuff, and time will tell. All right. Now, I'm going to be fast over this. So you guys, I'm sure you're familiar with this other social media platform. This is Mines.com. It's kind of not really censorship. People can talk about whatever they want. Now with that net freedom, which is all good and great, you have to be careful because sometimes there's like some hate speech and stuff. So I'm not the biggest fan of that by any means. But notice Ethereum-based social network Mines, if you guys have an account on Mines.com, taps into DeFi rewards. Well, what's happening here? Well, now they're actually utilizing Uniswap now. So all good and great. Just talking about, of course, liquidity mining, which is also sometimes referred to as yield farming, which essentially boils down to users depositing large amounts of crypto into a DeFi market, decentralized finance market, which it can then in turn lend out to other users, and then the people that lend the money out are earning interest on those deposits. So that is another way to have your cryptocurrency earning you income. So now a lot of people, will put in like an ETH pair, and like say with like ramp finance, you can put an equal dollar amount of ramp and Ethereum in to those mining pools and earn an aggressive yield But there is always inherent risk with everything, so please keep that in mind. Do not get, just like being an aggressive trader, you don't want to over leverage yourself by any means. And only invest and only, really even do this type of stuff with something that you can afford to lose, because it can be dangerous, and we are still in early days. All right, Mines.com, you guys get the gist. I'm not going to bore you with the article, but this is on Decrypt. If you are interested in this read, I do encourage it. All right. Also, NFL star Rob Gronkowski, the Gronk, one of the best tight ends in the world, in my opinion, is actually releasing his own NFT collection, a non-fungible token, which is essentially just this digital representation on the blockchain, which celebrates the player's 4 Super Bowl championships. Will feature 5 different trading cards. This is nuts. Now, yes, I know that there's these micro bubbles, but what do we say here? Even Gary Vee has been saying micro bubbles equal macro opportunities if we were paying attention to them. And on this channel, we know trends are our friends. So the Gronk is paying attention to this. Yeah, maybe it doesn't mean that crypto's going to go to the moon now and maybe these bubbles will continue, but this is publicity for this entire space, guys. And eventually, all this publicity, all this hype will hopefully turn into or transfer into utility, driving the markets and more builders and more interest overall. Just like the .com bubble, we remember pets.com and all these websites. You just had a website and you were good. Well, eventually we're going to weed through all the garbage and we're going to find the real stars in the NFT space, in the lending space, in the payment space, cough, cough, XRP. You guys get the gist. All right, so I encourage you to look into this if you guys are big footballers. Now, right here, the private Swiss bank, NPB, launches digital asset trading custody services across the board. I feel like every other day we're announcing some private bank or some giant central bank talking about digital asset custody or trading. Can you see the trend here? Higher highs in this market. The assets that are all full of promises and just a white paper will eventually die. Maybe it'll take a few years. Maybe you can make money with those scam coins. I'm not going to be trying to play that way. I'm only investing and even trading for that matter in assets that I feel have sound funding, active code, developments, and a true roadmap and actual utility per the governance of the token or staking, per the token distribution schedule. There's just so much. It's a lot of economics in crypto, and I'm sure you guys know that. I know there's a lot of econ majors. I went to school and one of my little minors was in econ as well back in the day, but you guys get the gist. All right. So why am I talking about Switzerland? Well, in fact, it's one of the countries that essentially has clarity for XRP, just like Singapore, just like Japan, just like the UK. So we're kind of seeing a trend here. What do you think the US is really going to do? Are they going to, just like Gary Gensler said, Ethereum and XRP early on looked like non-compliant securities? Then he made the comment and said that it's a gray area, but back then, yes, it was bad. And then what happened? They can later turn into and become more decentralized, and they're good and great. My bet, and I'm just repeating this for any newcomers that actually are afraid of XRP, which is a joke to me because they haven't done their research, but I get it because there is a lot of FUD propagated. I believe that, Ripple, yeah, they're probably going to have to pay some fines for back in the day. Things of that nature, the huge escrow amount, who knows? We'll see what kind of concerns come up. But I personally believe, and this is not financial advice, I can be wrong, please hedge your bet, only invest what you can afford to lose. I believe XRP will be fine, and I believe XRP survives this mess. I want settlement to happen ASAP, obviously. I have an extremely biased position, but do I think it could get dragged out? Yes, anything's possible. I'm not going to turn my head to either possibility. So, digital assets increasing represent a supplement to traditional asset classes. Obviously, we talk about the benefits of course, redundancy, but even asset fractionalization. You guys get the gist. And we are seeing strong demand from both the private and institutional clients. What do you think when you see the news of, Bitcoin going to 60K or higher? It's getting attention to this space. And the average person thinks this market is Bitcoin. They don't know that this technology is going to change the world. They're not familiar with this, and they're learning that. And so the people that are here early now and sharpen their swords, as we say, are really going to be that far ahead. I know a lot of people that watch this channel have been here since, 2017, maybe even 2015. But the people that are coming in now in 2020, 2021, and they're leveling up and getting positioned now or potentially even to reap the rewards of some bullish cycles in the future, man, we are going to be pros by 2025. And I know you guys don't want to think that far ahead because you want to be millionaires or multimillionaires, and I'm sure some of you are already, but I have long-term vision, and that deters a lot of people because in this space, everybody wants to get, rich quick. And not to rant, but the sooner I realized that there was no overnight success, the wealthier I've become. just because I understood that it is just hard work. No comparing myself with anybody else. Me versus me every single day. Hashtag self-talk. All right. And so talking about, Switzerland, the Swiss national, or this private Swiss bank, correct? Well, remember this. This is actually Alex Cobb's video. I did retweet this. This is my tweet, by the way, if you can see it. And I just want to show you a few things. This is a 9-minute video. If you are new to the community, go watch this video. He's discussing it. We show XRP at the center of this. This was back in 2000, let's see, maybe 2019. He discusses when, of course, XRapid, now it's called On-Demand Liquidity, just went live at the end of 2018, getting interest. And I'm just going to play this like 10-second clip. Here he's just referencing XVIA. Okay, so keep that in mind. Talking about Amazon, Uber, and all these payments. So just listen to this.
This network we call RippleNet. The challenge here, as many of you may know, is there's corporations ranging from Uber to Amazon to less technically efficient companies. They employ hundreds of engineers that just integrate into payment networks around the world. They're building custom APIs into payment networks in the Philippines or Indonesia, into the Middle East, what have you, so they can enable those payouts.
Interesting. So I bet most people didn't know that. They don't understand how fragmented the global financial system is in terms of payments, in terms of merchants, in terms of gateways. There's a lot of considerations. And I know that there's going to be, some 16-year-old dude or some 40-year-old dude trying to get rich overnight by just buying something and going to the moon. But you really have to have some expectations of what this means and how you want XRP to appreciate in value. I don't want a pump and dump. I would love a pump, but I want sustainability. I want liquidity over the network. I want strong, healthy corridors that are bidirectional. I just want utility, because the utility, solving real problems, is what's going to keep this market going up and keep XRP high, past those double-digit prices, even triple or even 4-digit someday. And I'm not going to say that there's going to be a price limit, because that is a price limitation is a price prediction. So the sky's the limit. We've never been here before. This is uncharted territory. Okay. And also in the beginning, he's sitting side by side with big shots. So encourage you guys to go subscribe to Alex Cobb. I think he's still making videos, time in and, here and there. I've just been so busy, but great dude, great researcher. You guys can recognize some of these people. Christine Lagarde, she's now the current president of the European Central Bank, former director at the IMF. We have some people from the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, just big shots. You guys, this gentleman, Brad, from the private sector, CEO of Ripple, the company that's coincidentally involved everywhere, even with the Federal Reserve, 7 years ago. Yeah, it's all coincidence. And yet people say it's a banker's coin because XRP did that 70,000+% return in 2017, 2018. But now it's just kind of been stagnant. And guess what's happening? Everybody's getting impatient. They're losing faith in XRP. And they're going to go chase other gains. I'm not capitulating. I'm not selling my XRP holdings. I'm dollar cost averaging and diversified in other assets, as I own about 30 plus. But XRP is still going to remain one of my biggest holdings for the long term at least. I'm going to be leveraging my XRP. I'm going to be leveraging my Spark for passive income with Flare networks. And I cannot wait for the next few months where we can start actually doing it. And I'm going to be learning with you guys. I'll be documenting it just like every other person in this XRP community. So this has never been done before. Do not give up. Yeah, I'm one of the cheerleaders in the XRP community, but it's because I believe that there's going to be something much, much bigger in the future. So talking about this changing global landscape, I wish I could play this whole thing, but I just want you guys to watch this. I will link this in the top of the video description. Be sure to go sub to Alex Cobb. I'm certain you already are, but pay close attention. He is an OG YouTuber in the space, and he is quite familiar with what is at place here. All right. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me see. Oh, there's a few other things. My bad. So you guys, we talk about Nexo, right, in the last video, and I hope you really enjoyed the last video. I know it was a long one, but I wanted to cover a bunch of information, so I don't have to repeat it again. We have BlockFi. Now, BlockFi, the rise of lending. We understand the benefits of this. Yes, we're essentially, some of us are like crypto rich, but some of us don't want to sell our crypto yet. So what can you do? You can lend it for passive income. What happens when your bag of XRP, goes from 100K to $10 million, and then you can make 10% interest off that per year, or 6% interest. I should be more conservative, sorry. But the 10% interest could actually be, you could expect a higher interest rate from these DeFi protocols. BlockFi is centralized just like Nexo and Celsius. What happens when we're leveraging Flare networks to lend our XRP, and instead of a 5% or 6% annual yield, what happens when you're getting 10 or 20% off $1 million or off $10 million? That's where it gets very powerful. And what happens when you take that interest? You're earning it in XRP, and XRP's price keeps going up. Do you see why I'm excited? I'm like a kid in a candy store. So anyways, BlockFi raising a bunch of money, $350 million at a $3 billion valuation. Wow. Really growing fast, just like Coinbase, at that 90 billion valuation coming from 8 billion. And remember, Ripple was actually valued years ago, even when Coinbase was valued at 10 billion. Where do you think Ripple's going to be someday if they become the Amazon of payments? Right now, this is decision time. We are rooting for XRP. We're rooting for, Ripple to get out of this. Do what they have to do. Get freaking clarity. And I'm so excited. So we get the rules of the road so then we can fly. And last but not least, we have all the money. This is the real Lisa Daly and I Am Legion. Great researchers in this community. And I love this. So she goes, this sounds suspiciously like Flare Finance. Funny enough, Flare Finance even likes this. Got Anders L. And to add to it, Brad was asked about a potential partnership with Flare in the future in some interview and he declined to comment. Now, I don't know if I know exactly what he's referencing, but I am a lunatic researcher, just like Anders. He's a genius. In the Julia Chatterley interview with Brad Garlinghouse, and I think it was, less than 6 months ago, she goes, will RippleNet be integrated with Flare in the future? And he declined to comment on that. And I remember that video. You guys can go watch it. Just look up like Brad Garlinghouse, Julia Chatterley. There's only a few interviews, so you should be able to find it no problem on YouTube. And funny enough, this is what he was referencing. I remember talking about this when it kept coming out. So Ripple's head of DeFi, talking about the Logos acquisition. We're talking about Spring, which is now Ripple X. Securitize. It's just so crazy that it's all coming together. And yeah, I know you guys are like, why are you excited? The price is still 40 cents, 50 cents. Well, eventually it won't be. And the people that are believing and DCAing, dollar cost averaging, and understanding this now are going to reap the rewards, in my opinion, especially when they participate in the Flare ecosystem. So all in all, guys, very exciting. I hope I'm sure you guys are following I Am Legion. I'm sure you're following All the Money. I'm sure you're following Anders, all these people, because these people have been day in, day out researchers. And I appreciate them. I appreciate all of you in this community. Hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next video.